I think what's really helpful to say is that, even, this is sort of obvious, but we're in this life, we're in this existence. We don't really understand it. We really don't know what it's about. And I guess in a way you could say we don't know what we've gotten ourselves into. But do we have a choice? Or are we just here? Right? And so I think that in the same sense, when somebody apparently starts a spiritual practice or starts meditating and getting into an environment where the energetic fields can be concentrated and amplified and deeper realizations can occur and transformations and healing processes can happen, people often find that they're they can go through periods, often lengthy periods, of integration. And it can take a long time. I don't know how long it can take. I don't think anybody does. It's no surprise that people spend their whole life, sitting on a cushion or living in a cave or something where it can really require, for some, a tremendous commitment to what's happening. I think some people have awakenings and it's not what they wanted. I hear that a lot. It's not what they wanted. They didn't want to have their life fall apart. They didn't want to have all of the psychological material come up and have to deal with that, or to have all kinds of energetic vibrations through their body, or, just a lot of things can change. The body, the physical body, is an energy system. And it is, without a doubt, impacted by these kinds of changes. So, no surprise that a lot of these traditions really probably trained people over many, many years with physical practices like yoga and sitting meditation and qigong and things like that, martial art practices, to really strengthen and clear the energy system so that these deeper processes, as they occurred, could be integrated. People sometimes come in now and they don't have any of that training and they get their circuits blown. I've seen it so many times, even with teachers, people who've been who are in those positions where the intensity of the energy that's happening was overwhelming for their physical bodies. So I guess you could say it's an occupational hazard. I really feel that it can be profoundly helpful for someone, depending on the stage they're in their own process, to have a skilled teacher who really can be with them on a very deep level, because that can help ground them in a way that they're not able to ground themselves, and will help them release what they might not be able to release on their own. It might be too overwhelming. And so yes, I think that that can be profoundly helpful. Does everyone need that? No, but I think more and more people today actually do. It's one of the reasons I'm as busy as I am, actually. So, it's one thing to be open, and to be in an environment where you're with a lot of people and there's a lot of energy. It's another thing to really find out how your own path is unfolding and how to really honor that and find your way. It's no surprise that a lot of these teachings really were not publicly available until recently. They were really initiated. It was very one-on-one kind of transmission of support. And I find even publicly, a lot of times when I'm working with somebody, that's very specific to them, and other people can turn it into something else and think it's about something else. And so I think there is I think that true teaching is very tailored in some way. There's also the other side of it, which is just this profound presence, which, you want to call it the non-dual or presence or, awareness, awakened consciousness, that is the universal mover of everything, a transformer. So that's the actual fundamental healer and transformer. But, I think it's also important to be able to bring attention to the particular and not whitewash it or spiritually bypass it. There's a lot of that going on. And eventually, the poo-poo hits the fan.